Are you filming? Okay. Today we're going to be doing interview with Hanane. She's a founder of Waterbeat Society, which is the aqua cycling club. If you want to give a few sentences like about what you do.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for being here. I don't take it for granted. And I'm the founder of Waterbeat Society, which is the first and only hydro spinning center in Italy. So what we do is that we provide spinning classes in the water. They last 45 minutes, and we were able to provide 4 different classes, where generally spinning classes are only of one type. And our location is very premium, so we are next to the Duomo, and it's easy for people that work around there or pass by the weekend because we are open 7 days a week. We also have a massage room. We wanted to add some treatments which really combine well with the effect that hydro spinning has on the women's body. And we also have something very new. It's a food and beverage corner, which we just opened 2 weeks ago. And yeah, that's it. Very, very likable, very Instagrammable.
So come over. Okay, so you have very niche business. And my question would be, how did you find the idea and how did you pitch your idea? Because from the conversation before, we know that she had an investor to help her out, to which we will get later. So yeah, we would like to know, how do you pitch your idea and like how do you come and explain people what you want to do?
Generally, when you have to pitch anything to anyone, you really have to be aware of the time. And you have to have your lines ready and you have to know them by heart. So when you pitch to an investor, maybe make sure that you look up that investor and see if he already invested in anything that is your business before. And be really strict with the time, so make sure you prepare at home. And a business pitch, ideally, it depends on the business, should be around 2 to 3 minutes, nothing more than that. And make sure you're always simple with what you say, that you're able to say and provide the information about your business to your investor or to your auntie or to your friends. Break it down. You don't know who you have in front of you. He might be a tech business type of man, or he might be into pharmaceutical or something different, and you might be pitching about lipstick. So just be sure that it's always very easy. And always put, in my opinion, a little bit of storytelling. You're still a person, you still want to give something about you. And maybe some real customer stories, or I tried this before, or I've seen this work in this type of place, in that type of business. And maybe bring your product with you and show it. Because sometimes we're so eager and so taken about what we're doing and how well we're doing it and how our idea looks great that we end up maybe not being able to showcase. In my case, it was really hard to show a hydro spinning pool.
Yeah, you need to bring a pool and a bicycle inside.
Exactly. So I had to show maybe YouTube videos, rendering, or of how the place would look like, although I still didn't have a place. So because to find the location for Waterbeat Society, I had to look through 12 different locations in Milan. Some didn't work because the building didn't want a pool in it. Some didn't because a pool is very heavy and you shouldn't have the tube or maybe any caves, and the architects from Toronto. So we really had to look into it, yeah, very much. I say we, while it's only me. So I like to say that, but it was just, at the beginning, it was just, yeah, my idea.
Did you like get a negative response to your idea, like at some point, or you were like, how fast did you find your investor, and like how fast did it happen for you, and how did you manage to negotiate terms with that person? Because you know, they usually, if they, you know, give you help, like they usually ask for something. So how does it work?
Funny enough, I was rejected by the same investor that actually did invest in my company later on. So just never give up, really. So what I did in my very own place is that I invested a portion of what was needed from my own savings. So that's not the case for anyone, but that already shows commitment. And maybe some other people will get money from their family or friends. That type of money, in my opinion, should be treated exactly as the money coming from a different business investor that invests in anything else and has chosen you. And there are many ways to back up their investment, and that depends on how big their investment is and what we're talking about. In my case, the most important thing that I did to back up their investment is show my commitment by putting in all my savings. So that can work. That worked for me, might not work for someone else.
But how do you manage to then maintain the relationship with these people? So because if they, some people then when they give you an investment or they give you money or some help, they feel they have the right to manipulate you later on. Do you have to did you manage to build a healthy relationship with that person? And how do you build these borders, not to give in to this, because some people have a sense oh, he helped me out, so now I owe him. You know what I mean?
Yes, of course. I think that if I would put my shoes in an investor's shoes, any investment they do, they know that there is a risk of not getting back what they invested to start with. And also, if you're a girl, if you're a certain age, yes, you can feel you're being manipulated by anyone, not only your investor. So that is really up to you. It's really up to your confidence, and not only self-confidence, is that confidence about your product or about your service. So if you know that probably, or most probably, that is a great idea, so you will not really be able to let people manipulate you. I think it always starts from within. So that can happen with an investor, it can happen with a PR agency that has only men working there, and you end up in a meeting with everyone being 10 years older than you, and everyone is a male, and you're the client. Still, they manipulate you. So what are you gonna do there?
Exactly. So what are you gonna do? How do you sometimes you end up in this situation and you're oh my god, it's very overwhelming. And also you need to you have a point, that you want to protect, how not to give up on your opinion, if you still think that you're right. You know what I mean?
So in the second scenario, yes, you're the client, but be sure you still listen to what these people around you are saying. They probably have more experience than you. Yet, if you're there to seek their services, make sure you don't give up on your points. Again, it's you that went to them and not the other way around. So if you're really sure about what you're going to sell or what you're going to, the service that they're going to provide you, you have to go ahead being extremely polite and being stubborn on your points. Is the only way. And if you're lucky, and if probably it's the case, it's going to work out, then they probably change their mind later. But then generally, let's talk about car accidents, right? Car accident happen when someone is insecure, or should I turn left or should I turn right? I don't know. So probably the same thing happens in business. Oh, I was right, maybe I was wrong. Probably I'm not sure about this, not sure about that. People feel it around you. Insecurities in any type of field are really loud. So be sure you know, this is my business, this is my hydro spinning, this is my lipstick, and I know it's working, and I know I want to do this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it.
So you launched a collaboration with Joe Malone, right? Mm-hmm. And then you were talking about having a collaboration with Oish. I don't know if it went through.
We haven't.
So I was gonna ask you a question regarding, so when big sponsors and big collaborators like this come to you, how do you negotiate your terms? Because they come there and they're oh, so our contract is that, and then we do this and that. They don't really and they're becoming so overwhelming, they usually don't give people space to move. And so how did you manage it?
Okay, but what happened in my case, so to date we are working and we have sponsors such as Dyson, so all our hair dryers and air purifiers come from them. We have Joe Malone London, they give our amenities in the showers and off showers as well. We have Oisho Sports, that has rented the lounge next to the pool, and we have nanny.com. So some of these were inbound, so Jo Malone London and Oysho, they approached us, so that's easy, I don't need to talk about that. Yet, on the other hand, when it was us approaching these people, yes, it was harder. My advice in this case would be, if you can, let someone else handle it for you. They see your potential better. You're inside and you're so overwhelmed that there's so much going on that you don't know that you could get double of what you ask of the fee, or maybe get double the products. Get someone else, maybe if you have maybe a legal team or a lawyer or a friend who's a lawyer that could review your contract. Little contract terms that make a huge difference. And with these big brands, yet sometimes they look at you and they say, okay, yes, you're little, yet you are coming to me. So you saw potential in me. So there, you shouldn't be intimidated and say, yeah, okay, so that's what you're giving me, I think I can ask for more. And be present in the room with them. I mean, some of these brands, they are some of the biggest in the world in their field. But just approach them with the calm and the confidence of knowing that if they came to you, it's because they saw potential and you can do so much better than what it's on the table. If you're going to them, be resilient, be humble, and ask for more than what you wish for, in my opinion, that you still get half anyway. But be resilient and go ahead and show them why they should be there for you. And that worked with me.
So your idea is very unique, and I mean, I don't think even in Italy there is like a similar type of a gym.
It's the only one.
So how did you do your research? How did you manage to find your idea, and how much time did it take you?
So before working at Waterbeat Society, I used to be a flight attendant for 9 years. So I've really traveled extensively all over the world. So I used to travel on commercial airlines and then on privately owned aircrafts. So I would stay sometimes 24 hours in a city, sometimes 24 days. And you can't really commit to gym membership. And it's also the way forward, not committing to gym membership right now. So I'd always signed up to one-off classes, to this type of CrossFit or to that type of spinning. Then in Paris, where they have something like 14 aqua bike centers, I started working out there, and it's the only workout that really shaped my body. It was I was able to shape it the way I wanted without getting big thighs or getting rid of excess water or anything like that. But so that was the only time I thought I really want to continue with this. Then in America they have a couple all over the US, not more than that. And in Italy I thought that was missing, but okay, in the sports field many things are missing in Italy. At the beginning, I'm sorry, at the beginning I thought about, and we, with our investors, I thought about opening in London. That's the cycle of Waterbeat Society. I was trying to open in London, Brexit happened. We searched for an Italian location. Milan is the only place, and then it took another year before I was able to find a location on where to start building Waterbeat Society.
So you had like a help and a mentor to help you out develop the concept, or you did it all yourself and then you came with the ready idea and then you just told people like what exactly you need, so they would tailor the proposal to your needs.
I only had an investor, so I only had a financial part. After I seeked a few, I only found that. And then I didn't find any other type of help within within any other field. I only had to go and seek maybe an architect to help out with the rendering of the place. And then later on I found a training manager that helped me hire the people. But the concept and mentoring, it really came from me looking around, going to conferences, meeting other ladies that had female-led businesses in Italy or abroad. And yeah, I'm very curious.
Regarding the, how to build your business plan, did you even have one at the beginning? Like, was it necessary to do? Yes. And if it's necessary to do, then what were your steps of making it? Like, we talked earlier and you told me that you had help to do it. So how do you even find this help? Like, do I go out of my street and I'm like, I can't Google and be like somebody who does a business plan for me? Like, you know, it's not really the case. So you need to find a person who would be...
Yes, absolutely. And it's probably your first little investment if you have to seek out someone to help you do a business plan. The business plan helped me understand if I would need 8, 10, 12 or 14 bikes in my pool. So to start with, that is essential. Then after that, I had to understand how many showers I could afford having. So, and something else that without a business plan I wouldn't know now. I looked up to my accountant, and from there I asked help to find someone that could do the business plan for me. Yes, I did try and do it myself at the beginning, but it's extremely risky. So I could go out and say, okay, I'm gonna paint this whole place violet, and that's okay. Probably it's not the heat color and doesn't work with fitness. Again, I can repaint it. If I do go without a business plan, I think I can afford a 10K rents a month. Maybe my business plan and my business model will only allow me to expense 5K a month on a rent. So you see, this is really important. Some people will tell me, did you do the business plan before or did you look for the location before? Yes, I did look for the location because it's impossible without. But I looked for the location within the branch, within the bracket of money that I could afford given my business plan. So whatever idea, business plan is the first step. You can't do anything. So I went to my accountant and I asked, I need someone that can do it cheap and really fast.
Okay.
That was
back, you said that you are very curious yourself and like you are actually seeking around and you're very open. So how much did you have to like do yourself regarding like educating yourself and figuring out this business? Because if you start just like, you know, from scratch, even though if you have like all the help in the world, you need to have your own knowledge regarding things, right? So how much of self-educating do you need to do, and probably you're doing still? And like how did you deal while making mistakes maybe, or taking a wrong decision? Like what was the learning process for you?
Okay, so I did many mistakes within my business, and that has led me either to poor management, losing clients, or losing money. So from all this, yes, maybe I could have avoided it with a higher education, but really I don't think so, because up to date, as I can't really learn from anyone in this specific field, as there is no other center like mine in Italy, I don't really think that a higher education would have helped me in this case. But it would probably have helped me with the business plan. So I could have had a business plan done myself. I didn't go to university, so I stopped at high school here in Italy, and then I started traveling. So probably would have helped me with that. It would have helped me with Excel. Something we should all know and practice and be dragons of Excel, but I am not. So something else I had to learn, I had to do on my own. And actually, so many mistakes I've done in the last year and a half. I've only been open for a year and a half. There was a scenario where I could have repeated that same mistake and it didn't happen. So I think I'm learning from that. Yes, I stay curious. I read so many magazines that talk about huge companies and they make billions, and I still think, you know, if some things would work for them, maybe they would work for me too. How to hire, how to fire, how to look for the perfect employee at Apple, and I still think, yeah, you know, I should really look it up and read Entrepreneur, which is a magazine that it's sold in the US, and I read it online, or if I'm there I'll buy it. I don't really try and set myself into any type of limit. I go to many conferences. I told you, like Girl Boss Rally, I went to New York. I just went to the Social Media Week. Obviously, I had the chance and I'm really lucky that I was able to go there. But if I was here, and I would have probably watched so many tutorials, my head would go crazy. Or read and stay really up to date with everything.
Does this extensive visit of like conferences and, you know, like different gather ups, does it help you?
So I think that it inspires you. To say that it helps you, I'm not 100% sure. Yes, it inspires me because I see girls my age or younger than me doing things which are better and greater than me, so I think really I can go ahead and do so much more. To say that it really helps me hire the perfect trainer or find the perfect shampoo for the changing rooms, I don't think so.
How do you build your team, and how do you do you do mistakes, or there are people who are intuitively just good and they see this is the person and they don't usually mistake. Yeah. Some people they try to analyze and hire and fire. How's the process for you? And then how do you hire people? How do you negotiate the terms with them? And then if you have to fire somebody, how do you do that?
So for my type of business, employees are the heart of it. If I don't have that trainer, I know that that class will be empty, even if I'd hire someone else. So somewhat, my business depends on them. So it's not the same for any type of business, but in my opinion, in my case, that's the thing. And it's by far, and I say by far, the hardest task I have to date. And it gives me issues every day because, we have to be up to expectation of our clientele. If you give them 9, they always want 9. You can't give them an 8. Makes sense. Finding the good people in the industry. If you're not in the industry, let someone else do it for you. Seek help. You are not able to assess if someone is good if you're not part of what they do, if you've never been there. And I always believe that if you spend a sum of money for a bad employee salary, that money is absolutely wasted. You could do without him, you could work it yourself, I don't know. It's just all thrown away, and each and every single euro you give a good employee, it's an investment. Sooner or later it will come back to you. Yes, maybe that guy is expensive, but I know he's gonna fill up my classes, and I know his profession is gonna turn up on time, and he's not gonna be leaving me blank on a Sunday morning where I have classes. So I really believe that, and that's why it's really, really hard for me to find really good employees.
Did you have to fire somebody?
Yes, I had to, unfortunately, and for me it was hard to start delegating things too, and this is the only thing you cannot delegate. You have to fire. When you have to fire someone, you have to make sure you don't do it before the holidays, little things, to do it after. It's important. And make sure that when you fire that person, you're still human and you still understand who you have in front of you, but don't tell them, oh, you did great, but yet you're leaving. Just be spot on and be realistic and tell them why. Don't be harsh. You never know. That person in a couple of years may be the person you're looking for. So on the way down, be nice, because on the way up you might need them again. So, and that is something that actually happened to me. I had to let off someone, and then after a while, a few things different happened and I had to seek them again. And if I would have done it in a rude way or without understanding that I had a person that maybe was certainly not living on my salary because they work in different locations, but still, right now, probably that person wouldn't be helping me out.
When you have this human factor, how do you say stop to yourself, also the human factor when it comes to delegating your work, because there are people who are obsessive compulsive like myself, and you just can't give your work to somebody else. How do you do it? You actually have to talk yourself into doing it. Yes. And start to find the people, and then you find the people and you're oh, he's doing this wrong and that wrong. No, so how do you manage it?
So for the first 6 months of our opening, we opened in January 2018. We would open at 7 a.m. and we would close at 9:30 p.m. And I did not miss a day that I didn't do the double shift. So I did from 7 until 9:30 p.m. every day. And for the first 2 weeks, when the gym shut, I did the whole cleaning of the whole gym, because I still didn't have anyone and I wasn't sure. I had so many cleaners come by. And so this is a really little task, yet I wasn't able to delegate it. But then, think about it, you only have 24 hours, right? And if you want to do something well and you have to prioritize, you have to delegate sooner or later. But from the other side, it's like trusting someone, right? It's like in a relationship. If you want me to trust you, you have to show me that you can do it, and then I'll be okay. But there are many things that you can delegate. And if you want your business to run well, you have to learn to delegate. It's one of the big tasks in my opinion.
Is digital marketing helping you, and how is it for your business? And then, did you hire somebody or advise somebody before doing your marketing campaign and everything, or you are doing it internally from your office?
So I'll give you a little percentage. The first client that comes to visit us for the first time is compulsory to ask them very casually on the way down to the pool how they found out on us, and then we keep track of it always. 40% of them, they come through us through Facebook and Instagram, and that's a huge percentage. And only 20% come through referral, which is even more important. And the other percentage, maybe they passed by, maybe they saw us here and there, I don't know, magazines and newspapers. So given that 40% percentage, that I had to hire a social media manager. She's a freelancer, and I hired a freelancer because of this very simple idea in my mind. I am a small business, and I want to work with someone that deals with small businesses and not with a huge agency. If not, I'll be lost, you know. I'll be the small client, I'll get the intern. Oh, she's only been around for a couple of months, who cares? And maybe you pay huge fees, and if they give you a discount, you'll still be, you know, the last one there. So just, you know, just do the step as small or as big as you are, not any bigger. So what I did is that I hired a freelancer that doesn't even live in Milan, but she lived 10 years abroad. So she understood when I told her I want a class in English and I want a class in French. And it's very important to attract this type of people. Then I said half of the posts on Instagram have to be in English and half in Italian. I'll start that way. Then we ended up only having them in Italian. So we changed that too. But I found someone that didn't necessarily live here around us, but still understood what I wanted to do. And that is really important when it comes to social media. Because right now, they are the most important platform on where you can showcase something like Waterbeat Society, which is, as I told you earlier, very Instagrammable. And for Google Ads, I started doing it on my own. And yes, I did read so many articles about it. And I did watch so many videos that I could about how to manage Google Ads, what's the right budget per day, what's the key word. And I started, for example, by doing something really silly. That I put within the keywords Waterbeat Society. But ask yourself, if someone looks for Waterbeat Society, it's because they already know you. So why would you spend that 25 cents on that click? So that is something I learned after a couple clicks, a couple hundred clicks. So that I had to change. But then we grow so much, and with all the projects that I had lately, I couldn't handle it anymore. So I gave it to a really small agency to handle. And by working almost on the same budget, so their fee taken out of my budget, I still get the exact same results. So that shows that I wasn't really doing it properly, yet I was still doing it myself, and I'm still getting people that say, yeah, I just looked you up, but then them doing it and changing a group of AdWords. So it's really important. People that look for weight loss, cellulite, gym, and then people that looks for hydrospinning, hydrobike, aquabike. So you have to change it that way, so you would know which one to put on more budget on. If not, you'll just be putting 20 euro all over per day, which is already huge. I put way less than that. So you just know how to segment it better. But still, small agency, I'm a small business, they're a small agency, I don't get lost within their big clients. So this is something really crucial to me that I learned through a big mistake. So always be with people your size. Let's talk your language.
Last question, how do you deal with stress, tough schedules, stress and continuous, worries maybe? How do you take your mind off with so many things going on?
So, for example, right now for me is an extremely stressful moment. May and June are the most stressful moments because I have to look for a new team of trainers to start off the last week of August. So that is really stressful. And I could tell you, take time off for yourself and go to the spa sometimes, get a manicure. No, I'm not saying anything. for me, it's like getting my work done before I go to bed, because if not, I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm going to wake up really early thinking, oh my God, I have so much to do. Complete the task. It's like leaving your house in the morning without having your bed done, or going to bed without having the dishes washed. That's how I feel about it. I'm very anxious lately, so I really have to deal with getting my stuff done, or getting help through getting my stuff done before being able to take a moment and rest. If not, that rest will be contaminated by all your stress and all that you have to do. And always find someone within your team with whom you can cheer on the small successes of every day. A client walking through my door, it's a success. Just one, it's still a success. And right now, we are working on a 80 to 90% of people capacity in our team. So that's already great. Yet my mind is shifting me towards the stress I'm having with dealing. For example, we have a new software being installed right now, so that's a lot of work to handle, and the new trainers as well. But stop for a moment and say, gosh, I did this. And look, some people told me, when I wake up and I actually know that I'm going to work out with you, I actually feel better about myself, about my life, about my day. It's really good. It's helping me through. That's what I really need. But I should be smart enough to think about this when I'm really anxious, and it happens often. I had so many nightmares about waking up and having to shut Waterbeat Society because I couldn't pay the rent, I couldn't pay my employees. I had so many anxiety attacks about it, and if you have a good family that can support you, that is crucial. For me, it has been absolutely everything, and the few friends I have around me as well. You're gonna think, there's so many days in which you're gonna think, I can't do this, oh my gosh. It's gonna happen very, very often, and you will just get up by thinking about maybe that little good part that is still going well, that is going to help you, and other people aren't. So that's my advice.
Thank you.